For some of you, the next level is just accepting that you belong there. Like forgetting your past, forgetting where you come from, not worrying about what you think you don't have yet. Just relax and you belong there. So the next meeting after, they trained me and we talked, the next call was like, yo, E, what you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know, what's up? He was like, Warren Buffett's coming to town. I'm only inviting 30 people to come and I want you to be one of them. I'm like, I'm there. This one, you got to catch this one. There's a reason why I'm in this room, and I'm not the fourth richest person in the world, but I must be rich at something. I just don't know what it is. But I have to be a billionaire in an area, because if I wasn't a billionaire in the area, they wouldn't have attracted me. So I'm looking like, those malls you go to with the Louis and the Prada and my man sitting there, he was the dude that owned those. Then I would watch the game, the Cleveland Cavaliers game, and he would be sitting next to Dan at every game. They all own property, like billions of dollars worth of property. And I started doing my homework and I was like, ooh, I see what they don't have though. While they have money and they do business, they don't have the human experience.
I just feel like your gifts will make room for you. And when you're trying to be somebody else, you block your gifts. You block your opportunity. So you don't see me trying to throw a football. You don't see me trying to, put a basketball in a hoop. You see me speaking. You see me serving, helping kids get their GED. I blew up with teaching a GED class. That's how I became famous. And people always ask me, why did you start there? I can psychologically tell you how to get prepared for a GED. And then the GED went to, can you help kids stay in college? So I did that in college, and before you know it, because here you are with an opportunity to get a 4-year degree, and you playing and you doing partying and doing stuff that maybe other kids have an opportunity to do because they got a net to fall back on. You don't have a net. So man, I went off. So for me, my gift has made room for me. Every time I talk, every time I speak, every time I educate, doors open. So man, stop looking at the Joneses might be good at what they're doing, or the grass might be green on the other side, but it means somebody's keeping up with it. They watering, they cutting it. It didn't get green like that on his own.
But in America, and it was funny, I was just recently in an interview or had an opportunity to do a luncheon with Warren Buffett, and he was just saying that, this is the greatest country to be born in. This is the greatest time, to be born, in this particular country, social media, economics, just opportunity. So, I'm the American dream. I represent, what so many people from my community represent, a mom who had me out of wedlock, pregnant at 17 years old. My grandmother kicked her out, not because she didn't love her, but my grandmother kicked her out because she had 14 kids. When I say the American dream, you're talking about not just my generation, but my mother, trying to finish high school, getting a job in Detroit, working for Ford Motor Company. So, the journey started with my mom, and I took it from, my mom to an entrepreneur, but, I eventually dropped out of high school. I was homeless for about 2.5 years, and, through education, I think is where, I got my turnaround. I'm not saying degrees. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, going to school and really learning how to identify my craft, how to hone in on my craft, and how to sharpen that craft.
I like school just because, it's a safe place. You got breakfast, you got lunch. You have to worry about, certain things happen when you're in school. Your friends, the social life was great. We're out here making this money and you going to school for what? What are you going, you're not doing anything. You're not going to Harvard, you're not going to Yale, you're not even going to community college with your grades. So you just need to just quit, let it go. I start getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like, you're gonna have to get up a little bit earlier because you didn't finish school. You didn't take care of your business. Can't get up the same time another man who gets up, who handle his business. And so for me, it was like, you got to discipline yourself. You might have the same experience they had, so you just got to discipline yourself. I do vegan most of the time, and I tell people all the time, I love fried chicken. I love macaroni and cheese. I love a lot of desserts, but in my family is diabetes. So it's like, if you do what they do, then you're going to get the results they got. But if you want to be with Didi for the next 30, 40 years, you want to be able to walk. I want to be able to walk at 60, at 70. I want to be independent at 80 if I can be. So I'm gonna have to make some sacrifices now